Okay, in this video I'll be installing the Sign-In tab on an HP Stream portable device, handheld device running a version of Windows. Sign-In tab, what that's used for is, again, it's typically installed on a portable device. It makes a little mini sign-in station where students can sign in to the device and then pick category activity, a typical kind of sign-in like you'd see in AccuTrack, but again designed for a portable device. So I've got my HP Stream in this case hosting my meeting. So, and on that device I've got a sign-in tab dist folder. That's my installer for the sign-in tab. So what I'll do here is go ahead and switch over to my portable device, and I'm going to run setup.exe. So I'll just double tap that, and that will install my software. And it's a minimal install in that there's not a lot of things to select to make it quicker, easier for a portable device. So I'll just tap next, and that will install the software. Okay, and it has created an icon on my desktop that I can launch, but I've got launch this program selected. So I'll go ahead and tap finish, and it will open the first time and copy some files out, some local files it needs to run. And then what it'll do is open to a tutoring sample database running off its own local drive. Now I have the capacity to sign into that sample database if I'd like to, just by entering a student ID, for example. So I'll do so, and I have a fake like 9 4s, so 444 44 44 44. I know that's a student ID, and I'll tap enter, and now I'm signing in as a student to my sample database. Seeing my registered courses, tap OK, and it will be just like a typical sign-in like you have set up in AccuTrack or AccuSQL. You can have tutor selection turned on or off. You can have service type selection, instructor selection. So however you configure that in AccuSQL or AccuTrack, that's what you'll see here for the sign-in. So I'll go ahead and tap tutor in this case, and you can see now I'm signed in at. So now it's back to the sign-in screen. It's waiting for the next student to do the same thing. Once I'm done, I can sign out. Of course, we can have auto sign-out rules if I forget to sign out, but hopefully I would sign out at the end of my session. Enter that same ID, and now I'm signed out. It'll show me my visit and my total visits in my center. Okay, so that's the basic functionality of Sign-In tab, but let's go ahead and set it to a SQL Server database. Ultimately, that's what we'll be doing in the SQL mode. So now when I exit, it wants an admin ID and password. We do that so a student can't inadvertently exit the program that's running. So I'll enter admin credentials. For this database, it'd be 111111111. Password is all caps new. So I'll enter that, and then it gives me the capacity to exit the program. Okay, so now what I want to do is go to the folder where Sign-In tab is installed. So I'll just right-click on the icon here, or if I'm on my device, I guess my portable device, I'm using Windows over here, but I can merely tap or hold that icon, and it'll give me a list of values, and then I can do Open File Location. Now what I'm looking for here is the program that's in the folder where it's installed. It's called APSetDataPath, but this is the program that you'll run to set the database connection parameters to my SQL Server database in this case. So I'll run that. And I wanted to find now a SQL Server connection. Again, it opens native the first time, but I'll click Next, and now I can put in my server information. Okay, and I'll use Windows authentication. And if I had a public account out there, I could use that, but for this example, I'll just use an SA account. And then I can test my connection to make sure it's happy. And it is. Okay, so now I'll just tap Save. Oh, excuse me, I won't tap Save. I'll tap the database drop-down box, and I'll pick the database that I want to connect to on that SQL Server instance. Now that may take a moment or two to populate that drop-down box. Okay, but eventually it'll show up here, and I'll pick my AccuSQL 13 testing database. Again, I could test connection, but I know it's happy, so I'll just tap Save. And it says connection information saved. Now what I want to do is X out of this program completely. So at the top right there, I'll just X out of it. Okay, and then I could run it from here, but I'll go ahead and just launch it again from my Windows desktop. Okay, so I'll tap it here on the desktop, Sign In tab. And then I'm connected to my SQL Server database. It would be the same kind of drill. I enter an ID. In this case, I have late media. Okay. And then I'll just go about my sign-in process. Now, as you can see, my categories are very different than what I had in my sample database, so that shows me that I'm pointing to my database in my SQL Server instance. I'll just pick an English class. How about creative writing? And I don't know, Meg Ryan. So now Laura is signed in. So I could have this at the front of the center. We have some colleges that actually have a stand with the portable device at the front of the center, and they put it behind plexiglass, and it's kind of a nice way to have a simple, kind of modern looking sign-in station at the front of the center. Okay, so that's sign-in tab usage.